Yeah.
But for anybody who's listening to audio only, that probably was not a pleasant experience. I'm doing a new thing. My favorite thing to do is to just go into this and start the broadcast before anybody, including myself, is ready.
Yeah.
I feel like the audience needs to see what it's like when we're kind of prepping for this. Which, for me lately, this is the extent of my prep. I've not been doing a whole lot.
Well, I thought your prep was just your weirdness super close to the camera.
I didn't know, so I turned on the camera. No, I didn't even turn on the camera. I turned on the computer, and then, like, you're Clayton. Ben, who we love, and Alex, our videographer, gets everything set up for us. And so when I turned on the computer, I was making weird noises.
Yeah.
And then my face was very large because I was very close to the camera. So I was unprepared for that. And yeah.
That's what the people need to see.
I think the phrase startled the word startled doesn't even cover that experience.
I'm not used to having to see my weird. That's not for me.
Yes, my weirdness is not for me. I had a friend of mine, Kayla, who works at the office with us, messaged me the other day and sent me a screenshot. Are you aware of this?
Carson told me about it.
Sent me a screenshot of something I put in our old CRM back in 2014. And she's like, people don't appreciate your weirdness enough.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Appreciate is also the word that I would use.
For sure. Yeah.
Welcome to the Medicare Cafe. Right now, we are in the pre-chat. If you are watching the recorded version of this, then make sure we'll tell you exactly what minute to skip to. It's right now about 3 till, so skip about 3 minutes, okay? Skip about 3 minutes, because in the pre-chat, Clayton and I just kind of talk about whatever the heck we want to talk about. Sometimes it's insurance related. Today it's not. So, if you do want to interact with us, we love it. We encourage it. You guys are our besties. So if you do want to interact with us, this is our text line. That's actually, even if you are watching the recorded version of this, look at my little boy. Even if you are watching the recorded version of that is my cell phone number. So you can text me at any time and I will answer. Sometimes.
I haven't seen that picture. It's adorable.
This one? That was Easter this year.
The bow tie.
He's got his little hands on his hips. He's just a little extra sassy. He is my son after all. So feel free to text in. But yeah, right now, guys, we're just going to do some pre-chat conversation. And you know what I want to talk about?
What?
That. Let's talk about the Care Initiative tournament.
No, I had to watch this in instant replay. I'm just how shocked.
So, last Thursday, actually, Clayton and myself, but Senior Reckoning Specialist, hosted the Care Initiative, first ever. It's the first time our company has ever hosted a golf tournament, and it is now my favorite thing. Honestly, if we're gonna launch a new company or launch a new product, golf tournament. Are we having a bad Friday? Golf tournament. Did we maybe, have our best year ever in production? Golf tournament. It's all about. So, Clayton, can you kind of say what our Care Initiative is? We've talked about it a million times, but let's do a million one more.
Yeah, always. So our Care Initiative is focused on cancer insurance, and kind of letting agents work with that product as easy as possible. CARE stands for Cancer Insurance, Awareness, Resources, and Education. And we're trying to offer more than just kind of what is expected from your upline, with just product training and education. There is a lot of passion behind this. I know you all have heard. Right? I know a lot of you guys have heard me talk about cancer insurance, and why I'm so passionate about it. And we're just trying to get that whole feeling out into the world.
Exactly. So on Thursday, we got together at the Lake of the Ozark, Osage National. Has anybody ever played that course before? It was my first time playing that course, and it was my
first time playing legit golf.
Okay. Well, first time on a course. You were at a course before, but first time actually
playing a game of golf.
Round.
Game.
Okay.
One match.
One golf match, please. It was amazing. And so we actually, like Clayton said, we wanted to do something different. So what we did was we had both cancer survivors, including our very own Clayton Clemens, who survived what kind of cancer?
Multiple myeloma.
Multiple myeloma, which is most common in people in their late 70s.
Yep, 70s and 80s.
And then also Clayton.
Yeah, or 27-year-old Clayton.
Right. So Clayton got to talk about his experience without having a cancer insurance policy, being cancer survivor. We had another individual there who's actually in the financial planning industry. She does financial planning for a living. She's a cancer survivor as well. And then we had my mom was there. My mom represented a caregiver of someone who lost their battle to cancer. My dad passed away of cancer after a 13-month battle with it, but he did have cancer insurance. So she talked about what that experience was like for her as a widow with 2 children, how they used the funds for with my dad's cancer insurance and things like that. So it was, I think, I wasn't looking at the audience at that point. I was so enthralled with everybody's stories that like I never, like, I love the pictures of me interviewing you because I'm just like looking at you like I love you so much. And it was just really interesting, but there wasn't a dry eye there. And so then we rewarded everybody with like, now we got you jazzed up for it. Here's how you're going to go out and sell cancer insurance, and had some 2 I would call veteran agents out there that talked about how they sell cancer insurance. One of them was Gio. He talked about like what happens if you can't make a core product sale, but you built their report, you did your appointment with them. Let's go ahead and kick it over to cancer. And then Colby, who is just like the most feel good, he talked about his dad passing away of cancer and one of his favorite clients passing away of cancer, and he's smiling the whole time.
I don't know how he does it.
I don't know how he does it.
I love that man.
And so he talked about how to cross-sell it. So it was really, really cool. Any key takeaways? And again, we're past 10 o'clock. If you came in, sorry, but any key takeaways from you from the Care Initiative tournament? Since this was kind of like your baby. Yeah. This is a cool thing we got to do together.
My biggest takeaway was an agent of ours, Michael, coming up and talking to me about... So I'd previously talked to him about Cancer Care, which is a foundation that had offered me some financial assistance.
Try again.
Offered me some financial assistance. I'm in my emo feelings here. I'm trying to get out of it.
I love it.
But his niece actually was diagnosed with cancer and used Cancer Care to get the kind of financial assistance she's going to need. So he came up and told me about that and said, hey, thanks to you, she's getting that. And that just meant a whole lot to me because if I could do that like with one person, I'm like, okay, I win. I've done my thing.
I do what I need to do. So we've talked about cancer insurance a lot on the cafe. We're developing an entire thing to it in our company called the Care Initiative, which Clayton is supporting today. Today, we're not here to talk about cancer insurance, though, so you are watching the recording version of this, or you are those who stuck with us the whole time. We appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and jump into today's topic. If you do have questions about the Care Initiative and how you can get involved, text this number below, or give us a call, 1-800-689-2800. Again, I am watching these text messages live, but today, what we are talking about is going to be dental insurance, and a big reason of why we're talking about dental insurance primarily is going into AEP. We're in AEP prep mode, and deaf research shows that out of all reasons people join or shop Medicare Advantage plans, 80% of people who did so due to the dental benefits. And that's kind of, when we see these plans rolling out in 2024 AEP, we're seeing a lot of conversation surrounding what the dental benefits are doing.
Yeah. Not only are they shopping their MA plans because of those dental benefits, but people are switching from a Med Sup to a MA plan to get some more dental coverage for free.
Exactly.
Or for zero premium, I mean.
There you go. We're compliant around here. Nothing's for free. But so yeah, exactly. And we do, again, there's a lot of people wanting to stop the bleed from the Med Sup over to the MA market. So either way, you do need to make sure you're able to talk educatedly about the dental market and like really exactly what it is. There's for insurance agents, the dental market is very polarized. You either have agents who love dental insurance, see the value in it, sell a ton of it, or you have agents that think it's like highway robbery, that it makes no sense. And so we're and I think you were one of those people. I was definitely
in that camp. I'm not
that
gonna
you
lie.
thought it was highway. Where are you at today?
I am in the camp that it is useful. I would be argumentative on certain aspects of it, but I definitely see the
argumentative.
benefit.
That's shocking.
What?
But again, that's because we do want to be unbiased and want to give you our full opinions on it.
Yeah, I think that everybody needs it because I just went to the dentist for the first time in years, an embarrassing amount of time. If Brian Roberts on here, just leave me alone. But
Don't at me, Brian.
I went to the dentist. Not a big deal, but I have some extra work that I got to get done from not doing it for so long. And if I didn't have dental insurance, it was going to cost me close to like $1,000 versus like a couple hundred.
Right.
And I know I paid less than $1,000 this year for dental insurance.
So let's talk about what is dental insurance. It's kind of a duh. Covers your teeth.
You're
Dental
welcome.
insurance covers your teeth. Now, usually dental insurance will also come with vision and hearing options or vision and hearing benefits. Not even riders. They usually come as a prepackaged dental vision and hearing plan. But if you are going to have one plan by itself, a lot of companies will just kind of do a separate dental only plan that tends to be a little bit cheaper. Right. However, I do strongly, I'm a huge advocate for making sure that vision and hearing is also taken care of. Vision is one of the best ways, is the cheapest and one of the best ways to find out if you have any heart conditions. And they're now tying loss of hearing to huge depression concerns across the seniors. So vision and hearing are also really important, but like we're talking about dental today. I think you hit a really great point. Dental insurance, what people do incorrectly when they're shopping dental insurance is they look at what's it going to cover for cleanings, what's it going to cover for routine dental. That's not why you buy dental insurance. You buy dental insurance just like all insurance. You buy it when things are not good, for things like root canals, dental surgery, teeth removal, sometimes teeth replacements. When things are really going downhill, that's why you buy a dental plan. Not and the cleanings and the discounts on cleanings and the coverages on the x-rays and things like that. That's just kind of like extra bonuses you get.
I think that's where I was on the camp of I'm against dental plans, was because I was like, I just need to go get my teeth cleaned and get x-rays. Like that's a couple $100. Yeah. Versus me paying this whole premium. The whole
premium
year.
Equals out to your cleanings and your x-rays. So if you're buying it for that purpose, it does not make sense.
Right. And that's the only place my brain was at with it.
That's fair.
And then you made me kind of keep being like, okay, so then 2 years from now, because you didn't go to the dentist for a decade.
It was a decade.
Now you have a root canal. What are you going to do? And I said, cry. I will cry instead.
Yeah. And like, honestly. So that's exactly it. I've actually worked with people who had dental work done because it was like they had to get it done, but they didn't have coverage. So they did it awake. They didn't get the anesthesia. They didn't get the numbing shots because that stuff costs a ton. So when you're pinching pennies because you didn't get the insurance, it does. Either you avoid the work completely, or when the work is not avoidable, then you have to either pay up or...
I've got that like electrical tingly feeling from like them stabbing you in the gums.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that. So again, why dental insurance? This is something I found really interesting. Ben, who we love, if you're familiar with the cafe group, you know Ben. He actually did some research. Is it this one? No. He actually did some research as to like how overall dental hygiene is tied to your overall health. And a lot of things were, number one was that like if you are going through a surgery or procedure, if you have poor oral hygiene, oftentimes doctors will actually make you perform better on your dental hygiene because it can affect healing time.
Right.
So if you have bad or rotting teeth, oftentimes they will put off major surgery because they're worried about infection and healing time. As well as mouths are really dirty, believe it or not. And I hold for pause. No dirty comments here, guys. Mouths are really dirty, and so they're like if you have poor oral hygiene, it's likely you'll get bad infections in your teeth, and again, that's always really concerning because of the location of the teeth and
brain.
It's close to the brain. Bad infection in teeth equals not good for brain. So, so it's just really interesting.
Well, also all those germs and bacteria and infections that you're swallowing constantly get into your bloodstream and then go wherever they want.
I don't like that.
No, that's not good.
So that's why, again, important to have oral hygiene. You're using this insurance for, like, again, those major surgeries, those major things that need to get done. And keep in mind, guys, Medicare doesn't cover your teeth. And that's something where, like, I don't think a lot of people understand because people are so used to having dental insurance through their group coverage that when they roll into Medicare, it doesn't even cross their mind that that's not also going to continue.
Yeah.
And so if they go to the dentist and they have to have major stuff done and it's not covered, guess who's the SOB there?
So, yeah, it's definitely something that's thought of as my group insurance had dental, not my group insurance offered additional coverage in dental, just because it's so engraved in a lot of our heads. So it's definitely important to make sure that they know, like, hey, these things are all separate here. We got to make sure we're taking care of all the different aspects, be it dental, final expense, like all those big gaps that are in the coverage. I was going to say cancer insurance, but I feel like I've said it way too many times.
We've hit that. And we'll say it again because it is important.
But there's all those different coverages that need protection or a plan for. I think Colby said it really good. He said you don't need insurance for anything, but you need a plan. Mm-hmm. And dental insurance is definitely one where if you're avoiding the coverage, you're going to need a plan for if your teeth go bad, what do we do now?
Yeah.
And hopefully that's not, well, I won't get anesthesia or that numbing stuff because...
So can I tell you the moment that I found out that people care about dental insurance?
Yes. I would love to hear this.
It was actually like way, way long ago before I was even in the insurance industry. I just knew like this was something that I needed to ask for when I come to my work benefits. Mm-hmm. It was actually in the movie Shrek 2.
Shout out Gio.
Not what you were expecting, but Shrek was talking to an employee of like the fairy godmothers, and he was talking about like he was saying he was from the union, and he was in disguise, and so I'm making a story. This isn't a good story, but I'm halfway there, so now I got to finish it. And the little guy who was in charge of the front desk, he was asking like, "Oh, so how are things going for you guys?" And he's like, "We don't even get dental." Like he was complaining because he thought he was working with the union guy. He goes, he goes, "It's not good. We don't even get dental around here." And I was like, "Oh shit, like dental's really important." A little peek into my childhood there. But again, this is what it comes to. A lot of people will hesitate to offer dental because they hesitate to offer anything. So if you're somebody who's like, you're not used to cross-selling, you're a one-stop, you're either a Medicare supplement, Medicare Advantage shop, your clients only have one policy with you, start with dental insurance. And it's the easiest one to offer. It's quite literally like selling a dental policy. In some cases takes 10 seconds, but should never take more than 2 minutes. We'll talk about some transitional phrases, but you do not need any more information than what's offered on that brochure. People do not care about the details. They just want to make sure that if something happens that they will have a check or that they will get it covered. So It's super easy. Stick with one company, and then most companies will have like a $1,000, $1,500, or $3,000 benefit. Some companies like Cigna and others will go clear up to like $5,000. Yeah. So sell face amounts and sell benefit amounts. Don't shop companies. Pick with one that you like and go from there.
Yeah, I know a lot of times we talk about like having 3 options, but you nailed it. Like the dental plans already have usually an A, B, and C.
They have those ones built in.
So you can kind of show them through there. Clients will generally go towards that middle plan because they don't want to have what's considered the worst version of that coverage. But on those brochures, they're so easy to explain that a lot of times if you're sitting down face to face with that client, you can just look at it with them straight down the list, and it'll cover all the different things, go into the rates. And then there's not the underwriting requirements that I know we look at for a lot of our ancillary products is, well, how am I going to get somebody on this? It's just, do you want it?
Yeah, exactly. It's people, you don't have to sell a dental insurance plan. People know what it is. It's different than like a final expense policy. It's different than even like a cancer insurance policy that needs a little more explanation. People know what that is. It has zero underwriting. It takes zero trust because the premiums are so low. It's an incredible retention product. It's an incredible referral product. And meanwhile, it's a lead source that you're getting paid on. Terry asked a really great question. Terry said, well, hello, Clayton and Olivia. He actually said hi, but I like hello better. Does it help to get 2 separate dental plans, or do dentists not like that? A lot of that times people will ask that question of, what if I have dental insurance covered in my Medicare Advantage plan? The problem with dental insurance through your Medicare Advantage plan is that it can change year to year. Right now, dental benefits tend to be like actually really rich. They tend to not only cover, because like old MA dental plans only cover like preventatives. They never got into if like things actually got wrong, which is the whole point of these plans. Now, lately, plans have becoming really rich in dental benefits. However, I think because of a little less funding that Medicare Advantage plans are getting, one of the first things that'll get attacked are those dental benefits. Yeah. So that's the problem with that. So making sure that you do have, because those dental benefits can change year to year, oftentimes people do like to stack them with a normal standalone dental insurance plan. The thing is that doctors, dentist office get a little bit worried with that because they don't want to worry about fraud, waste, and abuse charges of submitting multiple claims on one scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what's awesome about these plans is that there are going to be some things that this covers or will step in whenever your Medicare Advantage plan stops. So it is worth it, depending on which Medicare Advantage plan you are on, to have multiple plans, just because you're not going to submit the same claim. No, you're not going to submit multiple claims on the same service, but oftentimes they'll pick up where the other one left off and things like that. So
Right.
depending on the MA plan, it can absolutely be worth it.
For sure. And I think something with that is, which one would you exhaust first? I know I get that question a lot.
Yeah.
Of just, would I exhaust my MA benefits or my dental vision hearing benefits first?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really going to come down to the coverage and procedures.
Yeah.
But that gives you that wiggle room to see which one might cover it better before submitting that claim.
Yeah.
And the dental office should be able to help you take care of that information if you've got multiple policies.
Yeah.
So they'll submit that one claim to whichever carrier, but that way you can kind of figure out which one's going to be the best bang for your buck.
A couple questions I want to answer about, like, how do we know the brochure and some plan benefits. How do you know when you change? Okay. How do you know when the rates change and your brochure has age? Always double check to make sure that your brochure is at least within 1 year. That's kind of a safe place to start. But with these plans, guys, they do not change regularly whatsoever. I can't think with these ancillary benefits, especially dental vision hearing, I cannot tell you a time where I've actually seen the rates go up or down, really, when they said, like, we have new things like that. But always make sure, again, we always double check our website. We have a person on our staff full time who makes sure that our forms on our website are up to date. But it's also just like, make sure that you pull a new one each time. But again, like, these really do not change year to year, hardly at all.
Right. And carriers are really good about announcing new plans, as you guys know. So, like, whenever a new plan comes out, that's usually where you'll see those changes. The rates or little benefits typically don't change on a core plan. They'll just end up re-rolling out a new dental plan.
Yeah. And Kevin, you said, are you familiar with the new UHC DVH plan? It is rolling out in 14 states. Kevin, aren't you in Illinois? Kevin's in Illinois,
pretty sure.
including Missouri and Illinois. So we actually just got released commissions for that plan. It looked, honestly, with the United Healthcare plan, looks pretty standard. All dental vision hearing plans kind of start to look similar. The only major differences are going to be like networks and things like that. Premiums are going to round you about the same. The one with United Healthcare, though, is simply that it's a United Healthcare plan.
Right.
And UHC is 1/3 of med sups are sold with United Healthcare. United Healthcare is also the #1 Medicare Advantage plan sold across the United States. So it just dominates this market anyway. So that brand name is going to be really significant. I didn't see really anything that stood out good or bad with that, because again, like we mentioned, they're all very, very similar. I do know that I will say most plans have actually come away and stopped, on the MA side at least, stopped paying for dentures. Like I said, things are getting expensive. Dentures and implants. So I don't think that this plan will pay for those either. That's going to be one of its only downfalls of it.
And I think that's kind of something to consider too, is more so like what their needs are with these things, to see if there's that kind of far end of the dentures and implants built into the plan. And most of them are going to have those kind of longer waiting periods on that. So it's important to get on the plan early, so whenever you need it, your benefits are actually at their like maximum capacity.
Exactly. Yeah, and again, Kevin, there are going to be wait times for major services, but things like your X-rays, your the kind of the bonus stuff, that's going to be day one. But all the other stuff, like the root canals, major surgeries, are going to be basically 1 to 2 year waiting period. But that's all dental plans that I've seen.
I'll say preventative. That's something that everyone likes to highlight. Of like, there's no waiting periods, but you'll go down the list of carriers, you'll be like, they don't have one, they don't have one.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's pretty standard.
And then a question that Pete asked, what's the best resource to check out the new 2024 plans, including MAPD? So Pete, I would recommend going to our website. We have something on our AEP toolkit that has all of the, what am I trying to say, sneak peeks on there for all the companies. The only exception to that is going to be United Healthcare, because United Healthcare changed the way that they're showing their plans, which we're finding some workarounds. So honestly, Pete, the best way to do that is to call our office. We actually, again, our agent outreach team is trained to go through your writing areas and say like what plans are going to be the hot plans that year.
For sure.
So yeah, that is what I recommend doing. But with dental vision hearing, guys, the number one thing is like we offer, I mean, our company alone, we have like 20 different DVH plans with 20 different carriers. It's so much, and they all are just really different by very minuscule ways. So and honestly, like to say, like, I don't really think there are some dental plans that I'm like, I wouldn't sell that. I wouldn't. It's bad premiums, bad commission, blah, blah. There's gonna be a couple of those, but for the mass majority of them, it's all about like what company are you most comfortable with. There are some companies that have, all of them are like PPO based networks. A couple of them are going to pay on actual cost of the plan or actual cost of the procedure, not the customary and unusual and customary. So there's going to be little differentiations there. But it's hard to say on a webinar like this or a YouTube session like this because we are a national FMO. There's people here represented from all 50 states. Just call our office. They'll tell you which one's the best. Right. Honestly, the ones that I'm going to be partial to are the ones that you're already writing product for. So, like, I love, like, Mutual of Omaha. Theirs is just a quick little ad to their e-application. Aetna is the same way, just a nice quick little ad. Medico as well. So, those are the ones, like, I like a good brand name when it comes to these ancillary benefits. I feel like brand carries a lot of weight because the premiums are so close to each other.
They're so close. No one's going to be complaining about like $2 difference on their dental plan.
So again, this is something that we say how to sell dental insurance. I will tell you, we have an agent in the western side of Missouri, and he writes so much Mutual of Omaha dental insurance. He literally won the trip, wasn't it to Hawaii this year?
I think so.
Went to Hawaii because of his dental production with Mutual of Omaha. Okay, and when we asked him, I said, I need you to make a class on how you sell so much dental insurance. And he says, I just asked him, do you want dental with that? And I'm like, come again? He's like, I literally, like, it's on the e-app. I just said, like, do you want dental with that? And I'm like, that's it. So here are some phrases that we've seen work. One of them I think I really like you came up with, which is kind of, we used to call it the HR approach, but just asking them what their group insurance looked like and saying, are you used to having dental insurance?
Yeah, and I like that question because a lot of our people are looking at T65ers and going into that and saying, okay, like, were you used to having this coverage? Let's go ahead and make sure we're building a plan that's going to mimic that or make sure that you're having the coverage that you liked before.
Yeah.
And if they said, yes, I did have it, be like, well, if they're giving you any kind of pushback, like, are you comfortable losing that coverage? Because that's a good question to ask them about, if they're worried about premiums and all that. Be like, okay, like, I understand completely, but are you comfortable losing that coverage?
Yeah.
Because there's areas that we need to make sure are taken care of.
I love that question. Are you comfortable with this? Because it's, again, like, you don't have to have insurance or everything, but you do have to have a plan, like what Colby said. Brad asked a great question. Wow, are you not considering Manhattan DVH as the go-tos? Manhattan Life has an incredible DVH product. It's been my go-to. It started off as Central United, name change to Manhattan Life a couple years ago. It's been my go-to for several years now. They are kind of what we call the Swiss Army knife. They have an option for everybody. Are they the absolute best dental plan out there? I don't know. You could probably find some plans that have a little bit better benefit for the little cheaper of the cost. But it's one contract, and it really helps you. Like, if you're looking to really get serious about dental, that one company has several options that really make that shopping process easier.
Yeah, with Manhattan, it's the simplicity of being able to spend your face amount on whichever product line that you pick, so dental, vision, or hearing.
Yep.
Where a lot of them have caps. So they'll be like, you're capped on your vision and hearing on different plans.
Like, you got a $1,500 benefit, but only $500 of that can be used for hearing.
Right.
Well, if you're having a year where you're getting a lot of stuff done for your hearing, that $500 and maybe not so much done for your vision, you probably would like to allocate those vision funds to those hearing. But like other plans don't allow that. Manhattan Life does.
Exactly. It's just that easy to sell. Say, this is how much money you have to spend on dental, vision, or hearing. Done.
Go.
Yeah.
So, again, I really like it, but I like all of them. I really like Aetna because of their e-app and how it's just so easy. And Aetna does have a good dental plan. I like Mutual of Omaha because it's Mutual of Omaha. And it's a great dental benefit and just an easy click to add on with their med sup. I really like, I'm blanking on Allstate has an incredible
Medico.
one. Same thing. I like Medico. Medico is like the
That's the
king
thing
of
is, like, they're all good.
I don't
They're all so similar.
I honestly can't think. What's one plan? I don't want to put anyone on blast. Can you think of a plan that you'd be like, no, don't write that one?
No.
Yeah. We can't think of one, and I said it earlier. When I said it, I'm like, I think that's the one we don't like.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of it too is like listen to your listen to your clients about networks and how those plans are going. We've just had some negative feedback on how the reimbursement of some of these claims went, so that's an important thing. But know that you probably got 12 other options in your neighborhood. So.
And like, again, they are not all created equal, but they're pretty damn close. So if you do really want to know what plan is best, call our office. We will help you decipher. I guarantee you 90% of you on here have a contract with at least one of these carriers and have the dental benefits. You just not looked at it before. So give it a good look. If you are wanting to write Manhattan Life Dental, it is a separate contract for their Manhattan Life Assurance, the MedSup. The MedSup and the DVH they are not together on the same contract. So if you want to talk about that, let us know. But guys, that's it.
Yeah. Phrases. We had a bunch of phrases. Take a look at those.
Screenshot this slide.
For sure. Please do. Because these are just such easy things to be able to say to your client. You know, would you like dental insurance?
You want it?
Do you want it?
Do you want it?
That was what me and Olivia were talking about before today. Just, would you like that?
You want that? And again, it's because like it is the easiest product to sell. It's easier to sell. I cannot think of a single product that's easier to sell than dental insurance.
And if you're worried about your clients saying no, great. Then you know that that's not a concern for them and you can move on.
Yeah, you will have some that say no. You will have that, and that's fine. At least they know it's an option.
I think that's like the biggest hurdle a lot of our agents that I talk to have with cross-selling is don't want to feel pushy or don't want, to get a no and then that ruin the core sale. This is just something that you can get that no, move right along. There's no reason to keep combating them on, hey, you really need this coverage. You got to have this dental coverage because
who's got time for that?
No, they don't. They don't have to have it. But it is something that now you can check that off the list of like, they're not concerned about that. So if you're looking at a core product like a Medicare Advantage plan, they don't have to have the most rich benefits on their dental plan. They want to make sure that they're getting covered elsewhere. So it kind of gives you insight to what do now with the other products.
And I think too, I like the idea of like, if you're really worried about cross-selling in general, I think Colby said this again at the Care Initiative tournament. He said, what I tell my clients is that, we spend some time and I explain to you how your Medicare works. Don't you think it's pretty important to know how your Medicare doesn't work and where your Medicare stops? And most of the times he said he's never had somebody say no.
Right.
I don't want to know where Medicare is not going to operate. And so that's when you go into those ancillary products of saying it's not going to cover your dental. It's not going to cover a lot of expenses of cancer. It's not going to cover the event of your passing. It's not going to cover if you go into a nursing home. So a really great opportunity to kind of go into those ancillary products.
And it's not like a pushy thing again. It's more so just education and keeping your clients from being blindsided if they ever do need that implant or root canal, whatever it might be.
So that's what we got for you guys today. We were talking about dental insurance. Reminder, it is the #1 reason why people shop Medicare Advantage plans during AEP and the season following. So making sure that even if you don't want to be insured, you have to have a plan to talk about that. So at this time, hello, Purity, my voice. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, or promises, shoot me a text. This is my number right here, or put your questions in the questionnaire box. We love the interaction we get with you guys, so thank you for being our friends. Thank you for having questions and asking them. If you guys don't watch this, then we don't get to do this. So thank you guys for keeping us employed. During AEP, we will continue the Medicare Cafe, very short ones. The topics during AEP are going to be things like, what is the #1 question our agent resources team has been getting? We'll do some fun contests. We'll do some fun. What was the idea that we had? We did let's do that. We should do that during AEP because it'll be really fun.
I don't remember. Maybe.
We'll rethink of that. Somebody wrote that down, surely.
I'm sure. I hope.
So
I did. Maybe.
I don't know that I trust you to write it down, but I'm sure somebody somewhere did write that down.
Hurtful, but true.
Awesome, guys. Well, we do appreciate you hanging out with us today. We will see you next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Same time, same place. We'll be talking about things going into AEP and what we can be expecting. So until then, have fun.
Make money.
And give impeccable service. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.